everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the WWE 2K16 Universe Mode. This is going to be our second episode of NXT, and as you can see, we are now only 2 weeks away from our first NXT pay-per-view, which will be NXT TakeOver Arrival. So let's have a quick look at the card I got set for you this evening. We're going to start things off with a tag team match between a couple of teams we've not seen a lot of so far in this Universe Mode. Of course, we've seen Kalisto and Sin Cara in singles competition, but we're going to see them fight out as teams this evening. We've got the Vaudevillians taking on the Lucha Dragons. As we build up to our big tag team championship match at NXT TakeOver Arrival, we're going to see one half of the champions, Chad Gable, taking on one half of the #1 contenders, Enzo Amore. We're going to see Bayley, the current NXT Women's Champion, taking on Eva Marie, and the #1 contender, Nia Jax, will be at ringside. We're going to see Tyson Kidd taking on the debuting Adam Rose. Apollo Crews is going to take on Sami Zayn. That's going to be a great match, that one. I'm looking forward to that one. And our main event this evening is going to be Champions versus Challengers. We have the NXT Champion Hideo Itami and the NXT Television Champion Tyler Breeze taking on the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, Cesaro, and the man who will be getting a rematch at Tyler Breeze's Television Championship at TakeOver Arrival, Solomon Crowe. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first match of the evening. And like I said, that first match is going to be the tag team match between the Vaudevillians and the Lucha Dragons. And here we go, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Vaudevillians. They're a team that I want to do quite well in this Universe Mode. I want them to be quite high up in the tag team rankings, but they did not do very well in our tag team tournament here in NXT. Of course, they lost in the first round to the Hype Bros, which of course was Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. So hopefully they can pick up a little bit more momentum here this evening. Of course, we know that Sin Cara is already going to be tied up at NXT TakeOver Arrival. He's going to be facing off against Neville for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, and as per a suggestion I got a few hours ago from Jay Freeman, of course, that match is now going to be a ladder match. And I can't wait to see Sin Cara versus Neville in a ladder match. That's going to be pretty impressive. I can imagine a lot of high-flying moves might be haunting that one. So we're starting things off here with Aiden English and Kalisto in the ring. And like I said, I think the Vaudevillains are really a team that we want to see do well in this Universe Mode. First time we're going to see them in an actual weekly show. Like I said, we did have them in the tag team tournament. Didn't do too well at all. I'm not sure if we saw Aiden English in singles competition, did we? No, we didn't. That's something that I was going to do and I completely forgot. I was going to put Aiden English in singles competition in the NXT Television Championship tournament. I must have forgot to do that. But I think that's definitely something that Aiden English can look at doing as well. I think he can definitely go solo and maybe have a look at that. And I wonder whether there could be some sort of storyline we could do just for a bit of fun with Simon Gotch as well. Maybe going for the Cruiserweight Championship. Maybe not wanting to go for the Cruiserweight Championship but being sort of forced into it. Thinking he's too big for it, but of course he's a bit smaller than he likes to make out, I believe. I have to have a look actually of how big Simon Gotch is supposed to be. I know I did this with Bo Dallas the other week and it turned out to really surprise me. I think Bo Dallas was 6 foot plus, so like Bo Dallas is taller than me, and I was like, what? How the hell did Bo Dallas get taller than me? He looks tiny, but there you go. So let's have a quick look at Simon Gotch. Simon Gotch is 33. I did not realise that. He looks a bit younger than that. Simon Gotch is 6'1" build height. That's pretty impressive. Again, another 6 foot plus guy that I thought was a lot shorter. You see Kalisto and Sin Cara, great double team move there. In for the pin goes Sin Cara, 1, 2, and Aiden English across quickly enough to break it up. And I am surprised, you know, that Simon Gotch is as tall as he is. There's no way that's Simon Gotch's real name. No way is that Simon Gotch's real name. Apparently Simon Gotch's real name is John Smith. Really? That cannot be his real name. It is John Smith, born 18th of October 1982. Was actually trained by Daniel Bryan, among others. Great move there by Sin Cara. Into the pin he went, but I think the referee was distracted by Kalisto. Sin Cara going for the pin again. 1, to Kalisto, taking out Aiden English, and almost a free count. And Sin Cara could do the victory here. Really give him a little bit of extra momentum going forward towards that NXT TakeOver Arrival match against Neville, of course, for the Cruiserweight Championship. Sin Cara brings Simon Gotch back up to his feet, and there's a great angle slam style move. In for the pin he goes again. 1, 2, and he's got it. What a quick victory this has been for the Lucha Dragons against the Vaudevillians. And again, the Vaudevillians are struggling here. They struggled in the first round of the NXT Championship Tournament, and they've struggled here again against the team of Kalisto and Sin Cara, the Lucha Dragons. Very interesting to see just how quickly the Lucha Dragons managed to pick off the Vaudevillians. I know, like I've said before, we're going to have a lot of these matches on our normal weekly shows on faster momentum, just to try and speed it up a little bit, but they're not sped up that much. Because I think we did all of our Global Force Wrestling event yesterday on fast momentum, the entire event, and it still lasted an hour and 20 minutes. So it just shows you how quick this match really was in the grand scheme of things. And apparently, sorry, I'm just getting sidetracked again here. Apparently, Simon Gotch in the independent promotions actually wrestled for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla at some point under the name of Ryan Drago or Ryan Drago. I'm going to have to have a look at that, because I don't remember. I do have every single Pro Wrestling Guerrilla event on DVD, so I'm going to have to try and find out where that was, because that'd be quite interesting to see him on the independent circuit, actually. I'm quite interested by that. I'll have to have a look at that and see if I can give you guys a bit more information on that. But like I said, great win here for the Lucha Dragons, and Sin Cara's momentum continues to build. And I'll tell you what, there's a possibility here that we could be seeing a brand new Cruiserweight champion at TakeOver Arrival. I would imagine that Neville is the favourite for that match, but the way Sin Cara's racking up these victories could really shake things up. And our second match this evening is going to be one half of the tag team champions, Chad Gable, accompanied by Jason Jordan, taking on one half of the number one contenders, Enzo Amore, accompanied by Colin Cassidy. And here we go. And this match was made last week, of course, as Enzo Amore and Big Cass defeated Jason Jordan and Chad Gable in a non-title match. That also led to the match being booked at TakeOver Arrival. We're going to see Jason Jordan and Chad Gable defending their tag team championships against Enzo and Cass. And I think next week as well, just to complete the little miniature feud we've got going on here, we'll probably see Jason Jordan taking on Big Cass in a singles match. I sort of picked these two. I don't know why I picked these two. I think they're probably the funnier of the members of the tag team. I think that's I quite like that, actually. I quite like these two. I think Chad Gable, I'd seen him before on and off, sort of not so much jobbing, but he'd been involved here and there. And then when he finally debuted on NXT television properly, trying to become the partner of Jason Jordan, he really has just got something about him that's just so funny. And I really like it. I think he's quite a comical character, and I think that little bit of extra charisma really what helps them. Because not only they're fantastic in the ring, they've got some, like I said, they've got some personality as well, which is pretty good. That's what you need if you ever want to go any further in the in WWE, really. We've seen that in the past. You can't just be good in the ring. You have to have a little bit of a... What on earth was that noise? That was quite scary. Oh, there's been a goal. Okay. There's been a goal in the football. Sorry, I must have not turned my... It frightened the life out of me, that noise. I'm sat here in the dark, and my phone's just gone off with a really strange noise, and freaked me out a little bit. There we go. Enzo Amore going for the Earthquake butt drop there, but obviously not got the same weight as Earthquake had behind him, so it's not quite as effective as Earthquake's little attack. Enzo now showing a bit of wrestling ability of his own. And now just stamp into the back of Chad Gable, bringing Gable back up to his feet. And of course, a victory here for Enzo Amore would really, again, build up some more momentum for Enzo and Big Cass. I think they're Team Soft, I think they're known as. But there you go, Enzo and Cass. Yeah, if they did pick up the victory here, Of course, they defeated him in a tag team match last week. A victory here for Enzo and Cass would really just make things a lot more interesting once again. Momentum would definitely be in the favour of Enzo and Cass. And momentum's in the favour of Enzo and Cass at the moment anyway. But another victory here would definitely just tip it over the edge. I don't know what it is with momentum on this game. It seems to be the be-all, end-all. It really does. Because I have gone through and I've tweaked a lot of the stats of certain guys, and Enzo and Cass has won. I've left it probably as it should be, how I see it anyway. I've made Cass into a pretty decent wrestler, a pretty strong wrestler, and of course Enzo I've left down in sort of like the low 80s-ish to be more the jobber style. That's the sort of way that this tag team works, really, and I think that's the way the game had them set up anyway. I've just slightly boosted both their stats up to make them a bit more competitive, because I've done that across the board here at NXT, because 2K seemed to have had a lot of the stats drop down so the NXT guys weren't competitive with the WWE guys, so I've raised them all, so sort of across the board they're sort of level, if that makes sense. So the main eventers in NXT, I've got the same sort of stats as the main eventers in WWE sort of thing. So if we do ever do a little mixed pay-per-view, then it's not just going to be so one-sided. That's one of the things I did do. And there's a big spiked DDT on the apron there by Enzo Amore. You know what, the momentum might be firmly in the hands of Enzo and Cass after this one, but Gable getting back into it. And we'll have to see in this match whether the power of the manager has any effect. We know that managers are a lot more effective on this year's game, which is a good thing. It's about time they fixed them up. Last year they were just a bit boring last year. They're very boring and repetitive, and this year they're a little bit more unpredictable, shall we say. Enzo slides back into the ring and leaving Chad Gable on the outside. Referee now up to a 6 count. Gable looks a little bit shaken, not quite sure where he is. Referee up to a 7, and Gable makes his way back into the ring. Enzo with that running bulldog on Chad Gable. Brings him back up to his feet now, and Gable reverses into the Russian leg sweep. And now Gable looks to be signaling for something here. What is he going for? A big clothesline, and a second big clothesline as well. And a power slam. In for the pin goes Chad Gable. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. And I tell you what, a victory here for Chad Gable is be so indispensable to this tag team. Like I said, Enzo and Cass defeated these two in a non-title match last week, so the last thing Gable wants to do is lose again. Because remember what 2 losses in the succession means in this universe mode now. It means you get a cold streak as an attribute, which is not going to be good. And there's more funny noises go around my living room now. I can't figure out what they are. Getting pretty freaked out in here, I must admit. Enzo now springing off that far rope and just dropping his entire body weight across the back of Chad Gable, whose neck was lined up against that middle rope. And I really do like this Chad Gable and Jason Jordan cause. I think they're very good, I must say. And let me know in the comment section what you think. But these are new ones. I had some pretty good ones when I did the tag team tournament, but these two I think are even better. And it's great to have the matching attires as well. That's pretty good. Big knee to the face there by Enzo Amore. Went for the crossbody, and Gable just took a step backwards, and Enzo completely missed it. Enzo now with that front Russian leg sweep, the stroke style move there. Made famous, of course, by Jeffrey Jarrett. I know he's not Jeffrey Jarrett, it's Jeff Jarrett, but there you go. Big blow to the stomach there by Chad Gable, who I think has been busted open. Yes, he has. There's a second German suplex. And there is the trio of Germans. Gable pulling Enzo into the middle of the ring. You see Colin Cassidy trying to get the fans behind Enzo Amore, but it's not enough, and Chad Gable picks up the victory. An indispensable victory for his tag team. Of course, like I said, next week we will see the other half of this match. We will see Jason Jordan taking on Colin Cassidy. But this evening it's Gable who picks up the victory. And that now means that Enzo and Cass have defeated these two in a non-title tag team match, but Gable has defeated one half of them in a singles match. It's going to come down to next week to see who takes the momentum into TakeOver Arrival. And I think that Jordan versus Enzo, sorry, Jordan versus Big Cass is going to be a very interesting match. I think that's going to be a lot more balanced than this one was, to tell the truth. Then again, Enzo did very well. He had a few opportunities here. There's that big spiked DDT on Chad Gable. Both guys got back up to their feet at this point, and it was Gable again who took control, throwing Enzo Amore into the corner. But Enzo fought back with that boot to the face. And here you go. Here is the trio of Germans. There's the second. And the third big German. That's what finished Enzo Amore off. And I really like this camera angle, but that guy in the front with the sign is just always there. There you go. We can actually see the pin now. 1, 2, and the 3. So like I said, a big victory for Chad Gable. He was busted open earlier on. But that's a great victory for Chad Gable. You see Jason Jordan endorsing it as well. And we'll see Jordan next week taking on Big Cass. And match number 3 this evening. That is going to be the women's champion here in NXT, Bayley, taking on Eva Marie. And the #1 contender, Nia Jax, will be at ringside. And here we go. Like I said, we do know it's going to be Bayley taking on Nia Jax at NXT TakeOver Arrival. After Nia Jax won that big Fatal 4-Way #1 contendership match last week, against Asuka, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. Great victory that was for Nia Jax. And also from that match last week, we really discovered that it was going to be Asuka taking on Sasha Banks. That was suggested as well in the comments section below by Ain't It Great. Oh no, sorry, not Ain't It Great. Ain't I Great, sorry, if you are watching. Yeah, I did mention that maybe we could look at doing Sasha versus Asuka at TakeOver, and Ain't I Great said it was a fantastic idea, and from there on, we put it straight on the card. Looking forward to that one. Should make it onto the main card. Of course, we are going to have a pre-show for NXT TakeOver Arrival as well, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. As Bayley just destroying Eva Marie here earlier on. And of course, like I mentioned before the game even came out, I have reduced Eva Marie's stats slightly to make her a bit more balanced to where she should be, really. Not majorly, but in theory, she should not be beating Bayley here this evening. That's all I'm saying. But then again, we saw with Monday Night Raw earlier on in the week when Heath Slater came out to cash in the United States Open Challenge. He was absolutely incredible against Roman Reigns. And for a chunk of time, I honestly thought that Heath Slater was going to win that match. So stats don't mean a huge amount in this game. Heath Slater, I think, is a 77 on this game, or 78. Roman Reigns is a 90. And like I said, Heath Slater took him all the way. And just what effect will Nia Jax have at ringside as well? It's going to be an interesting one. Bayley now taking Eva Marie down with that arm drag and then just dropping her weight onto the arm of Eva Marie. Now hooking the leg in for that exploder suplex. And Bayley looking to go for an early win here. In for the pin she goes. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count, but so close to a 3 already in this match. Bayley over the top with that natural selection style move there. Of course, very similar to Charlotte's finisher maneuver. Eva Marie looking to try and take some control in this match, but Bayley takes the control straight back. Now bringing Eva back up, and Eva taking control back in the same way that Bayley took control in the first place. That's a confusing sentence, and I hope I've not confused you lot as much as I've confused myself in that one, but there you go. Eva Marie using the ropes for advantage to drop her body weight onto the chest of Bayley with that big boot. Now bringing Bayley into the middle of the ring. I may have just noticed something about this core, and it might actually be me rather than this core. I might be getting this wrong myself. So let me have a quick look before I embarrass myself. But you guys may have already seen it. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's the pin. 1, 2, Oh, and Nia Jax pulling the referee out of the ring. And that's what I was saying about the power of having Nia Jax at ringside. Yes, I thought I was right. Whoever's made this chorus spelled Bayley's name wrong on her tights. They put B-A-I-L-E-Y and it's not, it's B-A-Y-L-E-Y. I thought I'd double check that before I pointed it out because I thought I might have embarrassed myself. So, looks like we might have to get a new Bayley for TakeOver Arrival because that's a little bit embarrassing. And I wonder if any of you guys have noticed that already. So let's note that down on my list of things to do. Bayley, new core. Okay. Right, I can't believe I'm just watching the match and just noticed that on her tights. I'm like, hey, I didn't think Bayley had an eye in it. And I was correct. Bayley in with a pin. 1, 2. And that is the end of the match. Bayley picks up some important momentum going forward. Remember, she is going to face off against Nia Jax at NXT TakeOver Arrival in a couple of weeks' time. And she made pretty easy work of Amore, really. Like I say, I think Nia Jax will be a much more difficult opponent for Bayley. Don't get me wrong, but Amore here was just a bit too simple for her. I don't mean that in a horrible way, but there you go. It came out that way. And that annoying guy with the sign again right in front of us. And there was a great just launch up into the code breaker there by Bayley. I mean, that was the point where the referee got pulled out of the ring by Nia Jax. And if it wasn't for Nia Jax, Bayley would have won this match a while ago. And there was that big suplex. Went in for the pin again. And that was enough to finish the match off. We saw that suplex on a couple of occasions. And like I say, I think we'll definitely be getting a new Bayley core for our next episode. Quite embarrassed that I've only just realised that her name is spelled incorrectly on her tights. But there you can see it there. Yeah, it's B-A-Y-L-E-Y, not B-A-I-L-E-Y. Surely that's something... If you're creating a wrestler, surely that's something you'd check, surely. I'm not going to complain too much because I'm absolutely awful at creating my own wrestlers. So, whoever did create this has done a very good job. But like I said, a simple thing like spelling the name wrong is just a little bit comical, really. And here's our next match here this evening. It's Tyson Kidd accompanied by Natalya taking on the debuting Adam Rose. And here we go. Like I say, the first time we're going to see Adam Rose here on 2K16. And we do have plans for Adam Rose. I know that's something that not a lot of people will be expecting us to say. But yeah, myself and Jay have been concocting plans about Adam Rose for a while now. And yeah, it's going to be quite good. It's going to happen slowly. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to rush into anything. I really want to be able to... anything. I really want to be able to develop storylines as well as we can rather than just trying to rush everything through. Of course, we've got the whole of 2K16. We've got a whole year to really develop all of our storylines. We're not going to rush into anything. And yeah, Adam Rose is going to be one at the forefront, as people like Bo Dallas as well, we've got plans for. We want to try and make sure that everyone is used a lot better in our universe mode than maybe the WWE do. So that's really one of our key sort of things to try and do in this universe mode. I want to make sure there's no one that's just there for the sake of it, just there to be a jobber. I want to try and give everyone a real part in the universe mode, and I think that's going to only be a good thing, really. Of course, Tyson Kidd at the moment is injured, but before then, I'm not sure, was he being used correctly or not? He was in a tag team alongside Cesaro. I think Tyson Kidd's got more to his bow than just being locked into tag teams all the time. And as Cesaro as well, I think both Tyson Kidd and Cesaro should be doing a lot better than what they currently are. I think Tyson Kidd's main problem is he just doesn't have as much charisma as maybe some of the other guys. He's very talented in the ring. I'd love to be able to see sort of like the Tyson Kidd, Tyler Breeze, Dolph Ziggler sort of situation. I think Tyson Kidd would suit a match with Dolph Ziggler quite nicely, actually. They're both very good in the ring. But unfortunately, like I said, he did get injured earlier on in the year. A dark match against Samoa Joe on Monday Night Raw. It was a complete accident. It wasn't Samoa Joe's fault, apparently. It was all just It was an injury that could have happened to anyone. It's just bad luck for Tyson Kidd. And hopefully he won't be out for too much longer. Maybe we can hope for maybe a Royal Rumble return. Something like that. That'd be pretty cool. We know they like to return a few people at Royal Rumble, don't they, normally? I'm thinking John Cena. I was going to say thinking John Cena could return at the Royal Rumble, but I don't think he will, because I think that he's been booked in for the Christmas show, so maybe John Cena will have come back before Royal Rumble. Adam Rose with a quick roll up here. One. It's only enough for a 1 count. Tyson Kidd rolls through. And Adam Rose does a fantastic job of bridging out that pin now into the backslide. 1. Only a 1 count. And of course Tyson Kidd is going to be involved in a tag team with Cesaro. Currently Tyson Kidd and Cesaro are feuding on the current day roster with the New Day. And not only that, Cesaro of course is going for the NXT Championship in a couple of weeks' time as well. Against Hideo Itami. Big spine buster into the pin here for Adam Rose. 1, 2. And Tyson Kidd kicks out again. And there is scope to use Tyson Kidd, of course, in singles competition as well. He could be a very, very big part in the Cruiserweight Championship division. I'm thinking if Neville does successfully defend his championship against Sin Cara at NXT TakeOver Arrival, then I'm really trying to look at maybe having Tyson Kidd as the next opponent for Neville. I think that'd be really good. Neville versus Tyson Kidd just sounds like a fantastic match to me. And that's a big skull-crushing style move there by Adam Rose. In for the pin he goes. This could be all, but no, Natalya has the referee's attention. And the referee does not even count Adam Rose's pin there. And the power of the manager helping Tyson Kidd stay in this one. Kidd catching the legs of Adam Rose, now locking in that submission hold. Sort of variation, the figure 4 leg lock, having a hold of the arm as well. It's not enough to make Adam Rose tap out though. Tyson now slamming the arm of Adam Rose into the mat and drops into the pin. 1, 2. It's not enough, it's only a 2 count, but Adam Rose was close. Close to being knocked off here by Tyson Kidd. Tyson with a clubbing blow to the back. Adam Rose bounced off the ropes and came back straight into a German suplex. And Tyson really needs to capitalise on that damage. And here he is now lining Adam Rose up. What Tyson Kidd have planned here? Oh, but Adam Rose with a great reversal, sending Tyson Kidd over the top of his shoulders. There's a big chop. Tyson with the boot to stomach, but Adam Rose returns one. Tyson tripping Rose now. Is he going to go for a pin after tripping him over? He is. Surely can't be enough to finish Adam Rose off. It's not. It's only a 2 count. Both guys back up to their feet now. And I have seen on the community creation, somebody has created Adam Rose as Bunny, which I thought was quite funny. Funny Bunny. It's really good, the sort of things you can create on this game. And there's Adam Rose again, just slamming the face and head of Tyson Kidd into the mat. You know what? Adam Rose could pick up a victory here. Rolling Kidd over. 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. Adam Rose has a bit more behind him than you'd think. Again, just showing that ratings on this game means nothing. Tyson Kidd is a higher rated star than Adam Rose, but Adam Rose dominated this match really most of the way through. Tyson didn't really get a lot of damage into Adam Rose, and if it wasn't for Natalya, I think Rose would have won the match earlier on. That was that big spine buster early on by Rose. Straight in for the pin, but it was not enough. And I must say, this episode of NXT is going a lot quicker than our normal shows. So I have been running every show so far on all fast momentum, and they're generally still lasting between an hour to an hour and a half. This one, we've only got 2 matches left this evening. We're only just at half an hour, so it's going to be interesting. Maybe it just will be a shorter episode, but we have 2 big matches still to come for you to this evening. Of course, we have Sami Zayn versus Apollo Crews next. And then, of course, our main event is going to be the 2 champions, Tyler Breeze and Hideo Itami, taking on the 2 #1 contenders, Cesaro and Solomon Crowe. So that's going to be a pretty good match. And that could have lasted a bit longer as well, that one. But yeah, sort of surprised here that Adam Rose has knocked off Tyson Kidd. And there it is, the second time he hit that big move. And again, the name of that move eludes me from Adam Rose, but whatever it was very, very effective. And he's still got this little dodgy little gimmick going on. Let's just say he's not going to have this dodgy gimmick going on for too much longer. You know what, his attire, I actually quite like his attire for what we got planned. We just need to change his demeanour, but like I said, that will come into effect a bit later on in the universe mode. So keep track, or keep an eye out for what's going to happen with Adam Rose. And our next match here this evening is going to be Apollo Crews taking on Sami Zayn. And here we go, the referee rings the bell and we are underway in a match that I'm really looking forward to. We've probably got one of the most agile big men in the world, Apollo Crews, taking on probably one of the best wrestlers around today, Sami Zayn. And it's a shame that Zayn did get injured when he did, because it looked like he... I don't think that was going to be his permanent debut onto the main roster. I think it was just going to be a one-off. But either way, it was great for him to finally get onto the main roster. And with the match he put on against John Cena, it really showed that he deserves to be on the main roster as well. So hopefully when he does come back from injury, maybe they might give him just one more storyline in NXT just to make sure he's back at 100% ring fitness, no ring rust or anything like that, and then maybe straight back up onto the main roster. I'm thinking maybe bring him straight into the main roster to feud against Kevin Owens. That could be a possibility. Just sort of develop on the whole feud that they had in NXT. And of course, Kevin Owens has always taken credit for this injury that Sami Zayn has got as well. So that is, again, a possibility of something they could definitely do. Same with Hideo Itami as well. It's been a shame in NXT. They've had two big names injured for so long this year. Obviously, the introduction of Apollo Crews and the introduction of Samoa Joe has really helped to combat that. But I'm sure those two guys would have been absolutely fantastic to join in with what was already there, rather than, of course, replacing the people that have been injured. And, of course, there is talk of a lot more big names being signed up as well. We know that Biff Busick and Rich Swann have both been signed up. Be interested to see how long it takes them to get up onto the TV tapings of NXT. We know that I saw the most recent results of the TV tapings, and neither of them were on that, unfortunately. James Storm did make a return to the TV tapings, and I believe that Austin Aries and Gunner were backstage, but they didn't actually get on the show, which is a bit of a shame. Well, when I saw the pictures of Austin Aries going into the NXT arena, I was so excited, and then to read the results of the tapings the day after and see he didn't even have a match, I was a bit disappointed with, but there you go, it is what it is, and hopefully he impressed in whatever he was doing. I reckon himself and Gunner may have been having sort of like a tryout match before the show had even started, just to show what they can do, showcase their talents. And of course, Austin Aries, we know how good Austin Aries is in the ring. He should have no difficulty being signed up for WWE. And I've always liked Gunner as well. I think I've always been alone. Everyone that I've known who watches wrestling, no one has sort of appreciated Gunner the way I have. I quite like Gunner, and WWE gave him an opportunity as well. So you never know, they could both get signed up. Of course, Jesse Sorensen also worked the NXT tapings. Former TNA Jesse Sorensen. I think that's the second tapings in a row he's worked. And I'm pretty sure Tommaso Ciampa was on there as well. So, again, I think at the moment, because of the injuries they've got, they're having to use a lot of the indie scene and some big names to really help put some of their talent over, as well as Zayn nearly picked up the victory there with a Blue Thunder Bomb. But Apollo Crews still had enough to kick out of that one. Zayn went for the springboard moonsault and completely missed. How embarrassing there for Sami Zayn. Not only missed, but he flew halfway across the ring and missed. And there's the Koji clutch there by Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn has not got anything to do as of yet at the pay-per-view. However, I do have something in mind for him. That's all I'm saying at the moment. And that is going to go off of a suggestion I have had already from... who was it? William Bannister. So if you are watching this, William, be sure to keep an eye out on NXT TakeOver next week. because something you suggested may very well happen. That's all I'm saying on that one, so keep an eye out on that. Great standing moonsault there by Apollo Crews. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count. And like I said, I think we're going to have some pretty good matches. We are going to have a pre-show for NXT TakeOver Arrival as well. Not quite sure as of yet who's going to be on what match is going to be on what card. I've already got a full card already written out. And of course we've still got 2 episodes to build some more up as Apollo Crews. No way, the big man hits the dive on Sami Zayn. And we just see the big man fly. And I tell you what, I love this NXT roster. So many fantastic, talented people down here. And it really is just so impressive. And I think we're going to have some fantastic matches in the long run. Of course, Apollo Crews will have to find him a match for NXT TakeOver Arrival as well. I'm thinking maybe just to use a few of the names up that are not already booked on the card. I'm thinking maybe some sort of fatal 4-way match. But like I said, we also have our pre-show as well. We can play around with our pre-show and I get an extra 3 matches on that. Now, pre-shows are something I'm going to try and do a bit more this year. Basically because the rosters are so big and we want to try and get as many big names on a pay-per-view as possible. I do want to start utilising just a... We'll have our normal sort of 7-match pay-per-view card and then maybe just a 3-match pre-show just to get the juices flowing. And there is a victory there by Sami Zayn over Apollo Crews. And what a big victory that is for Sami Zayn. That's going to really help him out in the rankings here in NXT. Of course, we know Cesaro is going to face Hideo Itami in a couple of weeks' time for the NXT Championship. But then it's all fair game from there on. Who will establish themselves as the #1 contender for after NXT TakeOver Arrival? That's something we're going to have to keep an eye out for. And like I said, when we start to get some of the bigger pay-per-views further on, such as SummerSlam, Survivor Series and that sort of thing, we may see some NXT Championship matches on those main card shows. Maybe NXT Championship, NXT Television Championship, NXT Women's Championship, NXT Tag Team. It could be anything. So like I said, we're just going to go very freeform in this entire universe. But there's going to be no defined lines. We're going to go outside the box as much as we possibly can. And I'm really looking forward to that. There is the pin by Apollo Crews. After that standing moonsault, it was not enough though. And here you see Sami Zayn with a second Blue Thunder Bomb. And that was enough to keep Apollo Crews down. So like I said, a big win for Sami Zayn. We do have plans for Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver Arrival. Like I said, what those plans are going to be, you'll have to wait and see, won't you? Sami makes his way outside the ring. And like I said, he's going to be pretty... get a nice little boost in the rankings from defeating another big main eventer in the shape of Apollo Crews. And here is our main event. It's going to be the champions Hideo Itami and obviously the NXT Television Champion Tyler Breeze taking on the #1 contenders Cesaro and Solomon Crowe. And here we go. Going to start things off with Tyler Breeze and Cesaro in the ring. And of course, like I said, we're going to see Tyler Breeze defending his newly won Television Championship against the former champion Solomon Crowe at NXT TakeOver Arrival. Of course, Solomon Crowe did have his feet up on the ropes to win the championship in the championship tournament. But last week, Tyler Breeze got his own back by sort of using Summer Rae to his advantage to help him pick up the victory. And things are still up in the air, but I'm thinking of trying to create some sort of match that's going to take Summer Rae out of the equation. I think I've got an idea in my head of what I would like to do, but I think we'll develop more on that next week. And of course, Cesaro won that big 6-man Battle Royal last week, as suggested by Nathan Wynn. As I get back to the match here. Yeah, he defeated Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor and Apollo Crews in a 6-man over-the-top row Battle Royal to become the #1 contender to Hideo Itami's NXT Championship. And I'm looking forward to that match. Hideo Itami versus Cesaro at TakeOver Arrival. That is happening, and that is going to be a fantastic match. But back into the match we have here in the ring. Cesaro is going to be someone who who is going to be very well used in this universe mode. Like I said, Cesaro is someone that I'm a big fan of, and I think he should be doing a lot better in the WWE than what they give him credit for. Of course, unfortunately, he has been injured recently, and according to good old Jim Ross, bit of insider knowledge, he believes that Cesaro is going to be out for a good, I think it was 4 to 6 months with shoulder surgery, which is absolutely devastating news. To lose Seth Rollins and Cesaro for such a long portion of time is devastating. I'm hoping that JR's got that one wrong, and it's not as bad as it first seems, but it seems such a shame to lose Cesaro. Of course, with Tyson Kidd already out injured, Sami Zayn's out injured, Hideo Itami's out injured, Seth Rollins is out injured. It's just, and Randy Orton's out injured as well. There's just a lot of injuries going around the WWE at the moment, and it's such a shame to see all these people that put their bodies on the line day in, day out are suffering from such debilitating injuries that keep them out of the ring for such a long period of time. But yeah, like I say, we're using Cesaro a lot more in our universe mode. He's going to be involved in not only the NXT Championship, but of course Tag Team Championships as well, alongside Tyson Kidd, sorry. And of course, he's going to be involved in the main roster, currently in a feud with a New Day alongside Tyson Kidd on our current day roster. But he's also going to be involved in the main World Heavyweight and WWE Championships in the long run as well, hopefully. We're going to give him the opportunities to earn the #1 contendership as we go along, and I think eventually he'll take it. I have given him slightly higher stats that puts him sort of a high-level IC champion, low-level World Heavyweight champion, if that sort of makes sense. That's the way that I've sort of looked at it at the moment, as Solomon Crowe brings Cesaro back into the match, and we're going to see a prelude to what we're going to see at NXT TakeOver Arrival here. Cesaro straight away taking Hideo Itami up and dropping him in that delayed butterfly suplex. A double foot stomp as well, and Cesaro just showing Hideo Itami what he can do here. And if I'm Itami, I'm worried now for my championship reign. Cesaro is a big, big, strong man, and at the moment just dominating Hideo Itami ever since he came back into this match. Cesaro rolling Itami over. And of course, Itami did very well to actually win the NXT Championship. Wasn't who I expected to go on and win the belt, I must admit. He's a great wrestler, don't get me wrong, but there was other people in that tournament that I just much more expected to get it. Kevin Owens being one of them. Kevin Owens is probably one of the higher rated guys in this game. Someone that I rate very highly myself, but I was very surprised when I saw that the game had him down as a 91, which is quite high compared to other people on the game. I think they had him down as a 91, and they had guys like Finn Balor down at an 86, 87, something like that. So I was a bit surprised by that. But maybe with the injuries to the likes of Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, and now of course Cesaro as well, maybe it's a chance for some of the other guys to get a bit of a push. I'd like to see Luke Harper get a push in WWE. Not quite sure what will happen though, but there you go. And maybe Bray Wyatt look at the championship as well as a possibility. I don't think he will now, because obviously with what, I'm not going to give you any spoilers just in case you haven't watched it, but with what happened at Survivor Series, we have a heel champion now, so it only makes sense that he'll be challenged by faces for the near future. The likes of Roman Reigns, the likes of Dean Ambrose, they're going to be more involved. I don't know, I just have a feeling that at some point Kevin Owens is going to go face. But not a proper face, not like someone who's going to play to the crowd, but someone who just gets over because he's funny. And you look at some of his vignettes and backstage interviews recently, and they are very, very comical. And I just think at some point he's going to be able to make a slight face turn, maybe going against Sheamus. I think that'd be pretty damn good to go against Sheamus, actually. And maybe the return of Brock Lesnar as well, just to try and destroy Sheamus. I've got a feeling now that the same thing's going to happen. I said I wasn't going to give it away, and I've just started talking completely about it anyway. So yeah, I think the Sheamus championship reign might start off very much the same way as Seth Rollins did, with a lot of authority sort of help. But then again, the Big Show's no longer part of the authority, and neither's Kane. So I don't think there is a lot of help for Sheamus at the moment. There's not really an authority. It literally is just Triple H, Stephanie, and now, of course, going to be Sheamus taking the place of Seth Rollins. So it'll be interesting what happens when Seth returns, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to be before or after WrestleMania. I've got a feeling they might save him and return him in the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. That would be a huge pop. If Seth comes back with a massive face turn the night after WrestleMania, that would be a huge pop he would get there. And I'm going to call it now, the night after WrestleMania will be the debut of Finn Balor on the main roster. Tyler Breeze with a pin on Solomon Crowe, but it's not enough. Solomon kicks out, and of course we'll see these two guys facing off at NXT TakeOver Arrival, like I said. And like I also said, we're going to have, looking to maybe have a different type of match at NXT TakeOver Arrival between these two, just to try and combat the effects that have affected the championship so far. Like I said, Solomon Crowe won the belt when his feet were on the ropes during that championship tournament. And Tyler Breeze won the belt off of Solomon Crowe last week due to help from Summer Rae throughout the match. Cesaro across to break up that pin after a 1 count. Tyler Breeze with a great neck breaker on Cesaro. Solomon Crowe back up, just taking Hideo Itami out, now going in for the pin. Referee distracted there by Tyler Breeze, and Cesaro finally referee goes down for the pin, and it's only a 2 count. Hideo Itami managed to kick out, but how much was the delay in the count by the referee? How much did that affect Solomon Crowe's chances of winning the match there? And I must admit, you guys have probably noticed as well, my commentary has been absolutely everywhere this evening. And I do apologise. I'll try and keep it as professional as I possibly can, but I'm not doing too well at the moment. Solomon Crowe again nearly picking up the victory there over the NXT champion Hideo Itami. Big elbow to the back of the head there by Solomon Crowe. And the referee berating Cesaro, who I don't think he was in sound body and mind there. Solomon takes Hideo up to the top rope. Try to capitalise, but Hideo tried to capitalise, and Solomon just dodged the big dropkick, and in comes Cesaro to face off against the weakened NXT champion Hideo Itami here. Cesaro with a backbreaker, bringing Hideo Itami down across his knee. Brings him back up to his feet. Oh, but Hideo catching Cesaro, and there's a Hurricanrana by Hideo. And what is he signaling for here? Are we going to see? No, we're not. I thought he might have been going to go for the GTS there. Tyler Breeze now throwing Cesaro into the corner. And an interesting match, this one, because obviously Hideo and Cesaro, both faces on different teams. Tyler Breeze, I think, is... I don't know what Tyler Breeze is doing. I think he's playing a heel, but it seems very much like a tweener more than a heel. He does have a lot of support behind him. The pin there by Tyler Breeze. Hideo Itami caught Solomon Crowe with that German suplex. Tyler Breeze with a big right hand on Cesaro, but Cesaro caught the leg of Tyler Breeze, and there's a big clothesline out of the corner. Again, a Cesaro dropkick. Now catches Tyler and just launches him across the ring via his head, and Summer Rae up on the apron trying to get the attention of Cesaro. It's not quite working for him. Cesaro looks to be stalking Tyler Breeze. What does he have planned here? Looks like he's going to go for the neutralizer. He does, takes Tyler up, and there he is, drops him face first into the neutralizer. And now Summer Rae does have the attention of Cesaro. Tyler Breeze slowly back up to his feet, and now bringing Cesaro back into the ring. And there's the shin breaker by Tyler Breeze. The super kick as well. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. And no, Cesaro manages to kick out after a 2 count. And there's the beauty shot by Tyler Breeze on Cesaro. Tyler Breeze has to go for the pin here. Why has he not gone for the pin? He's decided to go up to the top rope instead. Is he looking for the icing on the cake here? It's a big elbow drop. And again, he doesn't go for the pin. Why is he not going for the pin? I've noticed this in tag team matches in this game. They seem incapable of pinning people. I like the way they've done a lot of the formats of the matches, but like I say, it's just the lack of pins in tag team matches just seems to frustrate me. Tyler Breeze should have really gone for the pin after using his big beauty shot finishing maneuver. He could have finished Cesaro off. Cesaro now pinning Tyler Breeze. No, he's not. Dropping a knee across the face. Hideo Itami flat on his back on the outside. This match taken out of everyone now. And it's been a very impressive main event, actually. See Cesaro busted open by that beauty shot earlier on. DDT now by Tyler Breeze, doing more damage to the already busted open forehead of Cesaro. And again, Tyler Breeze probably should have gone for the pin after that big move. Opted against it, and now Cesaro just launching Breeze across the ring via his head. Very aggressive move. I keep saying very aggressive move, but that's just the way that Cesaro is. Cesaro brings in Solomon Crowe, looking to get his own back on Tyler Breeze, who took his television championship away from him last week. Tyler comes across and brings Hideo Itami back into the ring. Tyler wants as little to do with Solomon Crowe as possible. As Solomon Crowe trying to crawl back to the corner of Cesaro, and does manage to make the tag. Cesaro back in. Catching Hideo in a front chance, who decides against it. There's a big drop kick there by Hideo Itami. Hideo tried to catch the legs of Cesaro, but Cesaro just kicks him away. Now rolling Hideo over and picks him up via the gut. Great deadlift gut wrench, and now spins the legs round. It looks like he's looking for multiple. There's the second, then again just rolling the hips. Continues the grip, and there's the third gut wrench suplex. Summer Rae again has the referee distracted. And I'm sure NXT management will be looking at this and thinking, what can they do to neutralize the effect of Summer Rae at NXT TakeOver Arrival? And when I say NXT management, of course, I mean William Regal. Hideo Itami gets taken up once again by Cesaro into the neutralizer. And could Cesaro pick up a pinfall here over the NXT champion? You see Tyler Breeze and Solomon Crowe distracted very much on the outside. But Tyler Breeze was across quickly enough to break it up once again. I think this match has lasted longer than most of the matches put together this evening. Back elbow there by Cesaro, who's now hit 2 neutralizers on Hideo Itami. Hideo with a Saito suplex. And you see Summer Rae throwing a chair into the ring. Have seen this before from a manager. In one of our random matches, it was Paul Heyman, of course, threw the chair into the ring and then went on a bit later into the match to distract the referee and allow Brock Lesnar to use the chair. But Hideo Itami, as a face, not quite sure if he's going to do that. And now Summer Rae has the referee distracted while Hideo Itami was trying to go for the pin. And that has completely backfired on Itami and Tyler Breeze. Cesaro now bringing Hideo Itami back up to his feet. Scoops him up, but Hideo slides out the back into the German suplex. And now Hideo lines Cesaro up. You see Solomon Crowe and Tyler Breeze just on the outside there. Tyler has Solomon out of this match. Hideo with a pin. And there you go, the team of the champions win this one. Hideo Itami, the NXT champion, and Tyler Breeze the NXT Television Champion, pick up victories over the #1 contenders. Like I said, we will see Tyler Breeze versus Solomon Crowe at the NXT TakeOver Arrival in a couple of weeks' time for the Television Championship. And William Regal really has a decision in his hands now of how to try and neutralise the effect that Summer Rae is having at ringside. Because I think there were several opportunities that Cesaro and Solomon Crowe could have really won this match, but Summer had the referee distracted. And of course, we'll also see Hideo Itami taking on Cesaro as our main event at NXT TakeOver Arrival. So 2 big matches there for us to look forward to. I'm sure next week we'll have an announcement on that Solomon Crowe versus Tyler Breeze match. But of course, you'll have to tune in next week to find out what that is. And there's the big finish there by Hideo Itami. The running knee to the face. And Itami celebrates alongside Tyler Breeze and Summer Rae. And a little bit of a heel aspect here to Itami. Seems to be pretty pleased with what happened here this evening. Interesting, that is interesting. I'll have to wait and see how this one plays out, I suppose. But Hideo Itami is seeming to sort of grasp the heel aspect of the cheating manager here this evening. But there you go. Well, that is the end of this episode. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I would like to apologise. My commentary's not been as good this evening as I like it to be normally. And yeah, hopefully I'll get that sorted for tomorrow's episode. But yeah, I do apologise for that. And of course, if you have liked this video, please hit that like button. And of course, subscribe for a lot more 2K16 footage. We are starting to upload the random matches as well now. So hopefully there should be one uploaded today, if not already. As well as an episode of Fallout 4, if that's what you're looking for as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you all tomorrow for Ring of Honor Television.